end of summer in Georgia. Almost time for the harvest. There's only one problem. The crops don't look very good.
We're actually in a 3-year drought.
James Malone knows that all too well.
It's not going to be a very good year.
He's farmed this land for the past 25 years. It's a way of life for him, just like it was for his father and his grandfather before him. Cotton, peanuts, corn, they are bread and butter.
The reason this drought is so bad because we have no subsoil moisture.
That's because there's only been one significant rain this season, and the rain that does fall evaporates quickly.
There's no reserves in the ground for the crops.
This drought started early, before the summer started. Now, Mr. Malone says his crops are taking a beating.
Here's some irrigated corn. If you notice up at the tip, we've got 3 pivots, and we didn't have any rain to go with it, so in a normal year, if you were getting any rainfall or could keep up with irrigation, this would have filled on out with grain.
That's the good news. You see, Mr. Malone's entire corn crop is irrigated. With a 16-inch rainfall shortage this year, he's spent a lot of money on water.
Fuel costs have gone up about 40%, and that's what it takes to irrigate.
He's spent an extra $30,000 in fuel. In all, Georgia farmers will shell out an additional $50 million to water their crops.
You hope to make enough on the irrigated to pay for the cost of water.
To make matters worse, the majority of Mr. Malone's fields aren't irrigated. His peanut crop was hit hard.
This plant should have at least 50% more peanuts on it.
And by this time of year, you shouldn't even be able to see the dirt between the rows. Already, his cotton is nearly a total loss. Many plants never sprouted, and those that did didn't produce.
If we continue getting rain, it won't help that crop at all.
Well, it's been the kind of year where anything that could go wrong did go wrong for Georgia farmers.
John McKissick is a professor of agriculture at the University of Georgia. After studying the drought, he's concluded that Georgia farmers stand to lose more than $700 million.
It may very well end up being the worst agricultural drought that we've ever had on record.
During a drought, farmers typically try to make up their losses by charging higher prices for the produce that does grow. But this year, the law of supply and demand isn't working in the favor of Georgia's farmers because there's a bumper crop worldwide.
Those producers that could just break even would be very happy in this kind of year. Without any additional aid, we could lose a lot of farmers this year because of the drought.
James Malone is hoping for the best, counting on crop insurance to break even. In any case, he will be the last Malone to work these acres. His sons won't become farmers. He thinks they'd do better in another occupation.
There's a whole lot less stress and probably better money.
For now, Mr. Malone will pray for rain, reap his harvest, and hope for a better season next year.